Hi there, I'm Adrian. This is a YouTube channel about SQL. Welcome to another video. Today we are going to take a look at some common mistakes that beginners make when they write SQL instructions. Let's get down to it right away. First of all, wrong column or table name. Beginners don't always pay particular attention to table or column names. For instance, it's a common practice in the SQL world to use singular noun forms as table names, but not everyone remembers about it. You may have a table named customer, might be singular form, with columns first underscore name and last underscore name, as you can see on the screen now. You could try asking for all data from the table with the query you can see now, but of course it will fail. When you run the query, you'll see an error about a relation which does not exist. Error messages in SQL can sometimes be hard to understand. In this case, a relation means a table. And that's exactly the problem. There is no relation or table named customers. Instead, there is a table named customer with no s at the end. And if we remove the s, we'll get a correct statement. You may also have a correct table name, but a wrong column name. In our example, we had the table customer with two columns, first name and last name. Note that we used underscore characters in both column names. If you tried to select the information from one of these columns without the underscore, you would of course get an error, because such a column doesn't exist. As you may expect, adding the missing underscore will solve the problem. Another frequent mistake is forgetting about the semicolon at the end of your query. Nowadays, many databases do accept queries that don't have the final semicolon, but if you're working with an older database or a less popular one, you may come across this problem. That's why I suggest you always end your queries with a proper semicolon character, no matter the database. Note, however, that different rules may apply to Microsoft SQL Server, in which there is a special Go command. If you're using SQL Server, refer to the manual for details. Next, people often forget about the closing bracket or apostrophe. This is often the case when we have long, complicated instructions within the brackets or apostrophes. One good technique to always remember about them is to type the closing bracket or apostrophe immediately after typing the opening bracket, and only then filling them up inside. Finally, let's talk about the order of SQL statements. Unfortunately, there is no shortcut here. We simply have to remember the correct keyword order for the select statement, which goes like select, from, where, group by, having, and order by. You don't have to have all the keywords in your instruction, but if you do add a new clause, it must be in the correct place. If we try to execute a query with an incorrect order of statements, like the one you can see on the screen, we'll get an error. In this case, the order by clause was placed before the where clause, which is wrong. Naturally, all we have to do in this case is simply swap the order by and where clauses, and the instruction will work like a charm. So, these were some of the most typical mistakes that beginners make in SQL. If you'd like to share your experiences with us and the problems you encountered on your SQL journey, leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and let's learn SQL together.